Good morning, YouTube. I've gotten ill recently in the last couple of days in a way that I have not gotten ill since, well, it was way worse that time. No high fever or anything. Nothing like that. No fever. Something's just, really bad up in here. Oh, it's allergies carrying. I don't know. But anyway, I'm just like, I haven't been this ill since the very first day of 2020. Right around the time they were announcing the Rona thing, my son was working at Papa John's in Severna Park, Maryland, and he became so ill suddenly. And when he gets sick, he gets really sick. Like, his body overreacts. He's got an autoimmune thing where his body flips the fuck out with the slightest insult. So he's getting wildly ill. He tried to call out of work, but everybody else had called out before him. It was New Year's Eve, and they said, if you don't come in, you're fired. I've been told that before. I've been fired. I was sick one time anyway. Long story short, he went to work, but I drove. He was driving, delivering food. I drove his car, and he ran up and delivered the food to the people. So if anybody believes in the contagion, my son spread it all over Maryland. So because we had the Rona, or whatever. We may or may not have had the Rona. It appeared to be the Rona before, right around the time it was announced. I'm like, well, we live right next to BWI Airport, so it's an international airport. And I mean, right next to it, like directly next to the airport is pretty much where we live. So at the time, and I'm thinking, they started talking about this Rona thing a couple weeks later. I'm like, well, we just had that. We were all sick for 3 weeks. Kind of, we went through a series of symptoms. It was everything. We didn't throw up, but we were nauseous. But we had like the chest thing. They had everything when you get sick. Like somebody like, it's a head cold, it's a chest cold, it's a stomach bug. We had it all. Like I said, except for the vomiting. It has to be really bad before we vomit. But even Lenny rarely, even more rarely than me, gets sick, and even he had it. So we don't know what that was. But my point now is, like, I've been sick for a few days. I'm like, what is this? It ain't. And it's all lung. And I'm thinking, the way they spray, and God only knows what, I just start to wonder, what's crawling around in me? I don't know. I've been looking at these videos again. It's been a long time since I looked at anything about morjellinz. And, there was just, these people are crazy, they're fucking insane. They're just, they got pieces of sweater fiber stuck to their arm, and it's moving with static, and they think it's alive, or they think they're so fucking crazy. Really? Because, I've seen quite a bit of video footage of these fibers moving by themselves, and then when they zoomed in on one and there was a fucking serial number on it. Come on, man. It's microscopic, and they've got a serial number printed in, like, stamped print. But it wasn't just a natural occurrence on this fiber that you can barely see with the naked eye. When you zoom in with a microscope and you see perfectly formed numbers, a serial number or whatever, or a model number. What number was that? I wonder if it's still on YouTube. It's probably not there. I don't know. It might be. But it's just a hoax, Karen. You're so stupid. I know. All these millions of people are so fucking dumb when they say they've got this problem. That's just mass hysteria. Maybe. Maybe not. I saw mass hysteria. We all saw mass hysteria in 2020. That was mass hysteria. Not years of careful research into the morjellinz thing of people that are not hysterical. They're not flippant. They're showing these things under the microscope. Where'd they find that? Oh, anything can be Photoshop, Karen. Yeah. Can't believe anything you see or hear, but you can feel the sincerity if you have not been completely shut down at this point by the hive mind thing, whatever this insidious force is that is getting into people's minds. All the different religions have different ideas about what it is. It's the devil. It's the devil. Is it? Yeah. Well, it's evil. I know that much. But do we know the name of this evil figure? All the Christians will be like, yes, it's Lucifer. At this point, it almost doesn't matter who's called what, because it's getting down to, like, the truth is being revealed, and it's like the veil is being torn, and I'm starting to lose my fear. Well, I haven't been losing my fear for a while, thank goodness, because I'm tired of being afraid. Um, something's on the precipice, and the 2020 thing was a huge divider. People were just certain that the powers that be in control of this world at this time should be able to tell every living person on the earth what in the hell they should do, or where they should go, or how they should do it. And that the majority of the people were like, okay, and they just did it. I can't believe my eyes and my ears, but they did it. And I was hypocritical. Several times I had to put a mask on. I didn't want to. Well, you did it anyway, Karen. I know. I went into, my husband asked me to open an account at this bank to get some kind of bonus, and then withdraw the money later and walk away from it having gotten the bonus. And, oh, you did it for money, Karen. You put that mask on for 10 minutes. You did it for money. You kowtowed to the... Yeah. I'm not perfect. It's hard when you're joined, in a marriage, and somebody's, and your marriage partner is saying, I really need you to do this. This is in our best interest. Well, Karen, would you follow him down would you get the mark of the beast? Well, was that the mark? Some people would say, yeah, as soon as you put the mask on, you marked your mind, like, you'll do anything the devil says, or whatever. Really? Maybe not. Hope not. I don't think so. There's a little shame involved in the fact that I put my mask on a couple times. Very few though. It was very few. I was just like, I cannot do that. I tried to go in the library about a year, so I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this. I ripped it off, I had to leave. I can't do it. I had to get on and do so. I was like, I cannot. The second something goes over my face, my brain shuts down. I go into freeze or flight. I think it's due to being suffocated at times, held down, and literally suffocated with pillows or hands on my face. My brother would do within seconds of me blacking out. A lot of stuff happened to me. Don't be like, I'm so sorry, Karen, that all happened. No. I'm just saying that I'm okay. It's just that it plants body memories that you might not even remember the actual event, but that feeling is immediately, I mean, of course, people are naturally going to not want, and animals don't want their airway covered, but there's a certain traumatic sensation to it when you've been smothered. You know what I mean? But in the past. What's my point? What are they spraying? Is that what's in my lungs? Is this what I'm suffering from? Is the genetically modified marijuana that the government has put all over the country and said, here you go, everybody, here's your candy now, shut up, after 50 years of it being illegal. Yeah. I think I've sucked a good bit of it down into my lungs. And I'm disappointed in myself. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? Got to get away from the silicone. Are we carbon? Are we hydrogen? What are we? What are we supposed to be? Do we even know anymore? Because silica, silicone, isn't it kind of plasticky? I mean, epoxies, these chemical plastics. Look at this little wiggly thing. Link below. Link in the description. Black goo. Magnetized, movable, programmable. Injected into you. It'll run around in your body and revamp it. Repair it. Sure about that? You sure it's repairing you? Or it's just putting you more in alignment with the hive mind and the obey. I think they've done a great job of showing us the truths while they've been jamming it up our rears in movies and television, screenplays, bullshit, false flags, the media, the government, the politicians, the religions, the churches. They have all worked together, along with Hitler/Walt Disney, to bring us to this point where when I talk, everybody's like, look at the crazy Karen white lady. She's a fucking moron. Well, if that's what you want to think, that's fine. Go think what you think. But these things are worth looking into. But you can only take it in so many. I mean, it's heavy. It's heavy duty. I'm on like a playlist too. I think we're in a crater. The globe and flat Earth are both psyops. I was told a few years ago by my friend Sarah. She's like, my ex-husband said flat Earth is a psyop. But that's but he just wanted to believe in the globe. It was about, it's like, look, it's like Republicans, Democrats, globe, flat Earth. Actually, it's right in the middle. As I've discovered that I look at this information and I'm saying to myself, this looks more real than anything I've ever seen or been told about the nature of where we live, the shape of the earth, and what's going on with that. It's flat where we are. But it's got them curved edges. And when they fly up out of there in a rocket and look around and they look down on Earth, it's a crater on a gigantic mofo sphere. God, Karen, you're insane. I don't know, man. This guy has wrapped it up in his prettiest package. It's because you're easily brainwashed, Karen. You're so easily manipulated. I know, I used to be real gullible. I like to put myself inside of someone else's belief system. I look at it and go, yeah, I can feel like I can understand why people believe certain things that I don't believe. I'll look at it and go, I see why you think that's true. I get it. But I saw this thing over here. And it kind of throws that theory out the window. And they're just like, la, 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 I can't hear you. Just like I did to Sarah. It was so funny in hindsight. When I used to blab, I was like, oh, that's blasphemy. But it wasn't. It was a child of the Creator just questioning that had a lot of balls for a chick. That's what it was. And I think God can handle our questions. It's like, no, shut your mouth and don't question the Creator. Don't question anything. How dare you? Just take this book. I believe every word in it. Are you going to hell? It's just like, I think God's okay with us wondering. I mean, if he really loves us, would he not? I mean, clearly, I love my children. I've had issues with them. They burn me up, and they do not believe everything. Believe me, they don't believe everything I believe. But do I want them to burn in hell for eternity? No, not really, not really. They're my children. I mean, I'd like them to grow and learn and enjoy their lives. And they may never believe the things that I believe, but do I really want to burn them forever? So I'm thinking, why would God? Because he's higher than you. Why? Why would he burn his creation? I don't. Unless they're not his creation. The ones, if there is such a thing, like if it is that way, and these certain subsection of beings go to this hellscape or whatever it is, maybe they weren't his children. Oh, they weren't. But were they his creation or were they somebody else's creation? And they were imposters and they looked human. And Jesus, Yeshua, however you want to put it, came or is coming to save the real humans. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is there's much we don't know, and everything we do know has been multiple programs. Television programming. Societal programming. Societal norms. And if you don't do it, you're an outcast. Like some countries, if you belch at the dinner table, you're a ingrate. Some countries, if you don't belch at the dinner table, you're an ingrate. So, who's right? Who's wrong? I mean, we can feel it. We can feel. Now, I've been taught to not feel. I've been told to ignore. I was taught very well to ignore my instinct and ignore my gut feelings, but I have them. And I would be like, nah, I'm just paranoid. And got my ass kicked every time. I'm feeling things now, and I don't I believe it. I believe my gut feelings now. I still may not be comfortable following them at times, but I do it. So, let's have a great day, YouTube. God, I know how to talk long in the morning, don't I? 15 minutes. I'm sorry. I hope I'm well enough to. Well, I'm no worse than I was yesterday. I got to drive up to that dentist in 2 days. They're gonna. Well, today Lenny's gonna set up the ozone, oxygenated ozone. He got all his parts, all his pieces to the machinery. So we're gonna hook it up today, and I'm gonna do a 30-minute nasal cannula breathing this, because that's what they gave him for the sinus infection when he went up a few weeks back. Then he thought he had the rotten tooth, but he didn't. It was the sinus infection. So, keep it posted. Well, I'll do some. No, I never interviewed Lenny about his dental thing. But anyway, because he can't set him down. He can't talk to this guy. He's too busy. So I'll go over all that later on when he sets it up. All right, YouTube. I'm sorry I'm so long-winded. Have a great day if you got this far.